We are at a bit of a crossroads in motorcycling. Things are getting very expensive very fast, and while the reasons for that are many and complex and beyond the purview of a motorcycle video, the fact is that the least expensive Harley Sportster costs $12,000 US or $14,500 Canadian dollars. Now Harleys have always been expensive, so this is nothing new. I remember going to a Harley dealer in 1998 when I was looking for my first bike and coming across a Sportster 883 Hugger which cost $8,000 Canadian dollars. It had about 40 horsepower, weighed over 550 pounds, had no passenger seat or pegs, and the Harley-Davidson sticker on the side of the tank. The salesman told me that the floor model I was looking at was sold, and if I ordered the bike that day, I might get one in 6 or so months. I didn't buy a Sportster. But slow and heavy as it was, that Hugger was a cool bike. It had the sound and feel of serious American machinery. It was fully metal, the engine had push rods, cooling fins, and was solid mounted and made the proper potato sound. And though the finish was not as good as it is on modern Harleys, it still conveyed a style that Japanese cruisers with their liquid cooling and overhead cams couldn't quite get right. Because that's what it takes in the retro bike market. Old school tech, a clean design, and a classic name. And neither Harley nor Indian possess all three of these things any longer. Which is why they have already lost this segment to Royal Enfield. To find out how and why, stay tuned. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please consider helping this channel by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with friends. In the entry-level cruiser space, the 883 Sportster was a legit choice. It had the old school tech, the clean design, and the heritage. Unfortunately, it was cramped, slow, and heavy, and if you got one, other Harley riders would accuse you of riding a girl's bike. Today, the new Sportsters are light and fast, and the name on them has heritage, but the design is no longer traditional or clean. They don't sound or look as good as the old ones, and sort of resemble metric bikes. And if you look at how many of them are languishing on dealership floors, it would appear that sound and looks matter more to Harley customers than modern performance. In the entry-level cruiser space, Harley and Indian have the heritage. Indian has a pretty clean design, but neither has legitimate old-school tech anymore. Their bikes are fast and modern, but lack the old-school charm of the Evo Sportsters. And this is where Royal Enfield is coming in to steal Harley and Indian's lunch, because this Indian, meaning from India, company has all three necessary components. It is a legit 123-year-old manufacturer, so the heritage is there. It builds awesome-looking, air-cooled classic bikes which are very clean, and it offers them for prices which undercut Harley and Indian entry-level bikes by thousands of dollars. So the truth is that Royal Enfield will not likely take over this segment. They have already taken it over by selling more 650cc bikes than Harley and Indian sell Sportsters and Scouts combined. Scratch that. Then Harley and Indian sell motorcycles combined of all types. Royal Enfield is one of the biggest motorcycle manufacturers in the world, moving 900,000 bikes in 2023, on pace for well over 1 million this year, and the impressive thing is that that number is not padded by a bunch of 50cc scooters and mopeds. The smallest motorcycle the company sells is a full-size 350cc, a large displacement bike everywhere except in rich, developed countries. And more of those sales will be of the 650cc models, which are dropping fast. In 2019, Royal Enfield introduced its classic British-style twins, the Interceptor and Continental GT. A couple of years ago came the Super Meteor American-style cruiser. Then last year we got the Shotgun, sort of a hybrid between the standard riding position of the Interceptor and the kicked-back Super Meteor. Finally, this year, Royal Enfield is going back to its British roots with the Bear, a scrambler based on the Interceptor, and the Classic, a more modern twin-cylinder update of the Classic 500 single which was beautiful but underpowered. All of these bikes run the 648cc, 270-degree parallel twin, 47 horsepower, 38 pound-foot of torque, air-cooled engine, which puts the power down via a 6-speed transmission. Despite being air-cooled, the motor is modern, fuel-injected, and has proven quite reliable, helping Royal Enfield shake its old reputation as a producer of clunky, temperamental bikes. There's something for everyone here, with the lighter Interceptor basically mimicking the old British performance twins. Those were the first superbikes, by the way. The Bear adding some light off-road ability to the mix, the laid-back Super Meteor providing American cruiser style, and the Shotgun and Classic giving riders a stylish sit-upright option, with the Classic being super retro. At 217 kilos or 478 pounds, the Interceptor is the most sporty, while at 243 kilograms or 536 pounds, the Classic is marginally heavier than the Super Meteor and the Shotgun, though it should still be decently peppy. Though we don't have a price for the Classic yet, the other Enfield 650s range from $6,150 to $7,500 US or $8,200 to $10,000 Canadian. The new Classic should be in the upper range of those prices, as it is obviously made mostly from metal and has impeccable fit and finish. Modern amenities on these bikes include fuel injection and ABS, and some of them, including the new Classic, also sport LED lights, a USB port, and a color TFT with phone connectivity and Google Maps. And that's it. No fancy rider modes or traction control needed with 47 horsepower, which is also one of the reasons why Royal Enfield keeps the prices low. They like to keep it simple, and that's the thing. These bikes have adequate performance, none of them will amaze you with their speed or sharp handling. However, they're quick enough and will handling enough for retro motorcycles, and all-out performance is not what consumers are looking for in this segment. What they're looking for is style and simplicity at an attractive entry-level price. So for $12,000 US, you can buy a Harley Nightster, a 90 horsepower, 480 pound performance cruiser which has a huge radiator and will not sound like a traditional Harley. For $10,000 US, you can buy an Indian Scout Bobber 60, an 85 horsepower, 536 pound cruiser which is clearly liquid cooled. It has a radiator and no cooling fins on the cylinders, but the radiator is small and relatively minimized, and the engine is styled quite a bit cleaner than the Nightsters. Or for between $6,150 and $7,500 US, you can get a genuine air-cooled American-style cruiser or British-style standard from a 123-year-old company which has produced such bikes since the 1960s. They will not be as fast as the Harley and Indian, but they can cruise the highway 2 up no problem and probably top out around the 100 mile per hour or 160 km per hour mark. And with a 270-degree parallel twin, they will sound good too. For the young or beginning rider looking for a stylish retro bike to ride around town or take on a longer trip, this is a far more attractive option. It's what the 883 Sportster used to be. A simple bike built to a price point for the masses, high on style and sound, and providing enough performance to do what you needed, but not enough to be intimidating for a beginner. And you can have plenty of fun with 47 horsepower, the limit for A2 license holders in Europe, the UK, and Australia. Royal Enfield has sold a ton of Interceptors and Continental GTs, and no doubt will also sell a boatload of the new 650s, as the company is widely expected to sell over 1 million motorcycles this year. In contrast, Harley and Indian combined will probably sell just over 200,000. Now obviously the expensive American bikes have bigger margins, but with a 5-to-1 sales advantage, Royal Enfield is threatening to run away with the retro bike market and will surely make a tidy profit along the way. More importantly, it will pick up young riders who may later remain loyal to the brand as the company explores the introduction of larger machines in the future. The truth is that the current crop of retro-styled American cruisers are not very affordable to the average Joe who has a mortgage to pay and kids to raise. And while there will always be wealthy people who can drop $30,000 or more on a bike, both Harley and Indian should also explore the more affordable side of the retro bike market. In my current situation, I would view financing a $30,000 bike as irresponsible. I could do it, but there are other things I'd rather spend my money on. So if I was looking for a retro bike right now, my choice would be between the Interceptor 650 and the Bear 650. Both are beautifully styled, affordable, and fast enough for me. I could buy them without going into debt. Don't finance your toys, I always say, and would get plenty of enjoyment out of them. And I am a sucker for that classic Brit bike look. But what about you? What do you think is the best deal on a retro bike? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Check out these other videos you may find interesting. Ride safe, and may the spokes be with you.